Gen Z, in general, the stereotype of Gen Z is that they don't have much work ethic. They don't have much drive. They don't have a lot of gumption. They don't seem to know what they want, and they don't seem to have any shame in, I want to say, being lazy, but it's not even lazy the way that I would conventionally define lazy. It's that they have no sense of purpose. They don't seem to have any drive, anything that motivates them. They seem to be devoid of that completely. And so I thought that this warrants a little bit of discussion, because if an entire generation stereotypically has a lack of work ethic that's not just based on laziness, but based on a lack of purpose, then why is that? Why does an entire generation of children lack purpose? And I think the answer to that is because this generation, Gen Z, even differently than my generation, the millennial generation, has been an a-religious generation, like a very atheistic generation. This is the first generation that more children don't go to church and don't believe in the God of the Bible than do go to church and do believe in the God of the Bible. It's a very secular, a very atheistic culture that these children have been raised in, which that right there could be all of the explanation that we need. That right there would explain a lack of purpose. Well, if you think that your entire purpose is here on earth, of course you're dissatisfied pushing papers around a desk, right? Like if you're so singularly focused on finding fulfillment here versus understanding that we are here for a time, but our eyes should be turned towards eternity, then yeah, you're going to be pretty dissatisfied in any job, really, no matter what your job is. But they have no religion. They've simultaneously been told that their identity is either bad and wrong if they're white, or that they are oppressed and victimized if they're black. They've been told that they are less if they are straight. They've been told that really the only way that they're privileged, right? That the only way to redeem their bad identity, their inherent identity, right? Their skin color or their sex, is to choose a different one, is to become transgender. So their identity has been untethered from their true essence, which is a very discomforting feeling. Makes you feel like you're floating, makes you feel like you're, untethered. It's an awful feeling. This entire generation has been fed this lie on top of not having any religion to serve as an anchor. Their natural intrinsic biological desire, which I don't care if you're on the left, if you're a feminist, you deny this, our biological desire as both men and women is to have a family. Our biological desire is to find a mate, is to get married, and is to have children. And our biological desire is to embrace our masculinity if we're men and to embrace our femininity if we're women. But our culture has taught these young people that those natural desires, the desire of a man to protect his wife and provide for his wife, the desire of a woman to have children, to be a mother, that these are wrong. These are disordered. These are social constructs that are either patriarchal if it's the man, or are systemically oppressive if they're the woman. And so think about the compounding of all of these different influences on young children. No anchor of religion to say, hey, it's not just you on this earth. It's not this existence on earth is not all there is. There's something greater for you. You're made for something greater. Then they're told that their identity is somehow bad through no fault of their own. They're told the only way to redeem that is to latch on to delusion, maybe and harm their own bodies. And then they're told that anything that they do desire in their heart, in their soul, is wrong. And so you take that child who has been fundamentally psychologically abused with this information, and you drop them in the middle of a free market economy that they are hearing from every quarter is bad and evil. They're hearing that capitalism is wrong. They're hearing that this is the same as the racism and the sexism and the xenophobia and the transphobia, that this is evil. And you give them a job working for a company that prioritizes profit, because that's what companies do. They prioritize profit. And do we wonder that these people are confused? These young people, do we wonder that they feel a lack of purpose? Do we wonder that they're overwhelmed by stress and anxiety? And then we tell them, society, our culture tells these young people that true fulfillment comes in socialism, that that's fairness, that allows you to pursue your truth, that that's equality. There's going to be no discrimination in a communist Marxist civilization. And they feel entitled to this. They feel entitled to this idea of happiness. But happiness to this generation, to Gen Z, is empty. The definition of happiness that Gen Z is seeking, that they're pursuing, isn't real. Because happiness is not just a feeling. It's not just an emotion. But Gen Z has been told that happiness is not joy. You and I might define happiness as, oh, I found the joy of Christ, meaning I can be happy even in the midst of suffering. That word that we're seeking, when we say we can be happy in the midst of suffering, we're actually talking about the joy of Christ, right? But Gen Z has been told that the definition of happiness is this utopian idea that they see on social media of luxury and leisure. And that without this, they can't find fulfillment. And since they already have this dissatisfaction, this lack of purpose, of course they're confused. Of course they're crippled in anxiety. And it results in not feeling any dignity and satisfaction in doing work, even doing a mundane task. Like there's no shame in doing tasks and sitting at a desk. I'm sitting at a desk right now, pushing papers around. That's what I do. There's no shame in that. There's dignity in all work as long as work is good. As long as it's not something that directly contradicts morality, work has inherent dignity. And so in order for these Gen Zers to understand their position in society, in order for them not to feel this overwhelming stress at the idea of work, in order for them not to do quiet quitting and the great resignation and bare minimum Monday, for them to have some drive and some purpose, they need to understand the underpinning of what work is. Why do we have dignity in work? And there are several elements that Gen Zers need to understand. And the first of this is the answer to the question, why are we on Earth? What is our purpose being on this planet? We are vapor, right? We as human beings, like from dust we came and from dust we will end up. Our great-grandchildren probably won't even remember our names. We are fleeting moments in eternity. And that's okay because we're not meant for this earth. We are temporarily meant for this earth, but we're meant for eternity. They need to understand that if you live for this earth, then it's like trying to capture vapor. But if you live for eternity, then your actions and your work and your purpose, you have a purpose. You embrace that purpose. Also, this entitlement attitude means that you will have no liberty. True entitlement, when I say true entitlement, I mean like when it manifests, when entitlement becomes real, you've sacrificed all your liberty. So there's no such thing as your truth in the sense that all of your preferences now belong to someone else. When you feel that you're entitled to be given things, someone else still gets to choose what you are given. So you've sacrificed all of your liberty, all of your freedom, all of your individuality, what you might like, what you might find fulfilling. Hi guys, it's Liz Wheeler. Don't forget to watch my show, The Liz Wheeler Show, every night at 7 p.m. on the First TV. You can download the free First TV app, or you can visit thefirsttv.com/Liz and start watching today.